that at that time, I think whenever it was, I think it was about 2014 or 2015, before it felt that the world had definitely taken a dramatic turn for the worst. I kind of thought, is it, if you meet somebody like that, if you meet somebody who's intent on kind of disruption and tearing everything down, is it possible to talk them out of their mindset? Is it possible to talk somebody who's so kind of deeply entrenched in something out of their mindset? I'm not entirely sure 6 or 7 years down the line how easy that is anymore. But I thought that the if somebody could actually do it, then the Doctor could. And as it unfolds in that episode, he's been to the same place as Bonnie has. He's been in that very same room and kind of made that same decision, and he just doesn't want anybody else to have to live with that. And so it came from wanting to know whether it would be possible for the Doctor to talk somebody back from the edge, just using an emotional or kind of intellectual appeal. I mean, partially, Clara is also inside Bonnie's head, so that definitely has something to do with it. But I just rather than ending it in a kind of series of explosions or machines or gadgets or punch ups, I just wanted it to come down to a kind of conversation in a room about whether this is the way that we want to go or not. And of course he sold that intensely well with his performance, but it was a long scene on the page, and it was I was very happy that it paid off. And I mean, uh that's a speech that kind of Stephen Moffat and I battered between the two of us until it felt that it was just right. And I think he delivered it just right. And it felt, watching it as a viewer, it felt like one of the first kind of moments from Peter Capaldi that you could actually define his Doctor by. I think it's one of the moments of that era that people remember, and I'm really proud to have been a part of making that. But there are a lot of great performances in that episode. I think Jenna's performances as the two of them is terrific as well. Yeah, so that's where the big speech came from, and I can't think of anything I would change it about the Zygons. And I know the Zygons also has some political aspects that are a little bit on the nose and a little bit uncomfortable, but I still stand by essentially what the Doctor says, that whatever grievance you have with somebody else and whatever battles you're fighting, and no matter how terrible somebody has been to you and how unjust things have been, that the only way to stop it destroying you completely is to reach some form of accommodation or forgiveness about it. And that's a very hard truth to acknowledge. And maybe it's not kind of right to expect Bonnie to be at that stage. But I think the Doctor, in all of his wisdom and all of his experience with conflicts, knows that eventually, after all the shooting's done and all the kind of hurt has been inflicted and all the pain has been gone through, you've got to sort it out in a different way.